Have you ever wondered what makes some businesses go fast? Why do some businesses really just rocket along and grow like none other, while others kind of stagnate and in fact find themselves in a difficult situation trying to grow? I believe it has to do with understanding the chassis of their business. And the way I want to think about this, I want you to think about it is, just like every car has a chassis, every business also has a chassis. Now, some cars are built on the same chassis. For example, a Ford Taurus and a Jaguar XJE are both built on the same chassis. Now, one of them's a nice economy car we'd love to drive around in. The other is a high-performance sport machine that you'd feel great riding in. But what's the difference? It's not the chassis. The chassis is the same. What's different is what they do, what they build on the chassis. And frankly, the same thing is true for a business. Every business has the same chassis. But what we do with our businesses, what we do with our chassis, is what really determines whether we're going to ride along as a pedestrian business or whether we're going to go fast. So it's pretty important that you understand what the chassis is. So let me share that with you here. So as I talk to business owners, they inevitably will tell me, when I ask them, what is it you really want? They will tell me three things. They'll say, I want more customers, I want more revenues, but ultimately what I want is more profit. Now, the interesting part about that, in the math equation that is business math, each one of those desired outcomes are, in fact, in a math equation, they follow an equal sign. So if I were to build the math equation that generates customers, revenue, and profit, these three would follow the equal sign. And what we've learned in school years ago was that you can't manipulate what follows an equal sign. You can only manipulate the input items that go ahead of the equal sign. So let's keep this fairly simple, and let's fill in the formula which becomes the chassis of your business. So ask yourself, what is it that leads to customers? Well, there are two things that lead to customers. One is you have to have leads. You have to prospect. You have to find people who are potentially in your market. They're your target market, your ideal customer, but they may not know about you yet, or they aren't doing business with you yet. So you have to find leads. And then the second thing you have to do in order to turn them into customer, you have to take them through some kind of a conversion process. So there is a conversion percentage or conversion rate that happens in order to turn those leads into customers. So the math that occurs is leads times conversion rate will give you the number of customers that you have, or the number of new customers in your business. Now, when you have customers, in order to generate revenue from customers, your customers will do two things with you. They will purchase on average, an average dollar sale. So every customer you have, or all the customers put together, you can take all the customers and look at all your individual tickets, and you will come to an average dollar sale. Some businesses have an average dollar sale of $5.20. Others have an average dollar sale that might be $5,200. But every business has an average. So they buy from you, on average, a certain amount of product or service at a certain number. The other thing that they do is they buy from you on a frequency. So they have a frequency of purchase. Some businesses have customers who come in daily, maybe weekly. Others who might come in, if you're a dentist, you might have a customer that comes in every 6 months. So it might be a twice a year frequency. But in any case, the number of customers you have times the average ticket price that you have times your frequency of purchase will give you your revenue. It's a simple math equation. It works this way. Now, you ultimately want profit. So the only thing between revenue and profit are your expenses or cost of doing business. So the piece that's missing here is your profit margin. So what are the margins in your business? How do you have your business structured so that you know what margin you make on each dollar or each dollar of sale? Revenues times profit margins give you your ultimate profit. So while we want the things that are in green, we want customers, revenue, and profit. In order to get those, we need to focus our attention on leads, how well we convert those leads into customers, our average ticket price, our frequency of purchase, and our profit margin. If we focus on those 5 things in our business, which make up the business chassis, the chassis of every business, yours, mine, and everyone that I've run into, it's the same chassis. So we need to understand the chassis, because if we want to grow our business, we need to understand how business math works. And this is how it works. Now, I want to show you how this gets really, really powerful. Let's say, rather than you having a strategy of just working on to grow your business down here 10% this year, if you were to say, I want to grow my business by 10%, you'd probably focus on a single strategy. But if you were instead to focus on 5 areas of your business, these 5 very specific targeted areas, and if you said, I simply want to generate 10% more leads than I did last year. So I'm going to pick 2 or 3 strategies to increase my leads by 10%. I want to improve my conversion rate by simply 10%. In other words, if I'm converting 10% of my clients, of my prospects into customers, I simply want to improve that by 10%, which would move the 10% to 11. It's a 10% improvement on your conversion rate. On your average dollar sale, let's say your average ticket price is $100. Your goal for this year should be simply to move that average ticket price up by 10%. In other words, from $100 to $110, just a 10% increase. 2 or 3 strategies could make that happen for you. On the frequency of purchase, if on average people come and see you 2.5 times in a period, a month or a quarter or a year, let's say you want to improve that just by 10%. So if they're coming to see you 2 times, then you want to move that to 2.2. So you don't have to double it, just improve it by 10%, just a small incremental change. And likewise, if your profit margins in your business are, let's say, 20% profit margins or 10% profit margins, you simply want to move them up by 10%. Focused on these 5 areas, if you just worked on a 10% improvement in each area, here's what happens. Here's what makes companies go fast. When you do this, because of the way the math works, each one of these become a multiplier. So it's 10 times 10 times 10% times 10% times 10%. You do this for all 5 areas of your business, your profits don't go up by 10%. Your profits go up by 61%. A 61% improvement in your business in a single year is very achievable only if you focus on the chassis and you do exactly what you need to do to make incremental changes in 5 powerful areas of your business that make up the business chassis. That is how businesses go fast. How would you do with 61% growth in your profits this year? Would that be acceptable? If you want to know more about that, just let me know and I'll tell you some more details on how this works. But it's the most powerful tool in business today. You've got to understand it and you've got to use it so that you can make your business go fast. Good luck with that. I'm Rich Allen, your business coach. Have a great day. Ride hard.